At this point, I'd like to get into greater detail how to make tests and quizzes and any other type of assessment you may need through Schoology. So all I would do is go to the given class that I want to create a test in, courses, and then I select my class. Then go to Add Materials, go down to Tests and Quizzes, and then here you can see a new window pops up and I need to name my test. So I'll just call this Unit 2 Test. I want to put a due date. Let's say this is going to be December 7th, appropriate name for history. I definitely want to have the category tests, numeric, so I can just punch in the total number of points the students earn. And I do want to keep it visible to students, and you'll see why here in a second. And I want comments if kids have questions or comments on the test. Go ahead and hit create. You can see here that it created the test for me. I have Unit 2 test here. And now I can start adding questions. Now you'll see here, over here on the right-hand side, that this test is unavailable to students. They cannot take this test. So don't worry about doing this early. The students are unable to see it, and it won't allow them to take the test early or cheat in any way. So I can go ahead and start asking questions, okay? So I can do true or false, multiple choice, anything I want to do, ordering, anything and all I want to do. Short answer, fill in the blank. Fill in the blank I use a lot. Let's see here. A good one for AP Government is, who was the author of Federalist 10? Okay. Now, at this point, I have a question here, but you'll see here under a fill in the blank type of question is all I would have to do is add in a underscore. Underscore has been input. You can see that it's populated at the bottom here, one blank. And this is where I can put the answer. So the answer would be Madison. Okay. And it is not case sensitive unless you select case sensitive, which I never do. I wouldn't want to hold that over my students' heads if they forgot to put a capital letter. You can see allow partial credit. This is used if you have multiple blank spots. You can have blanks and blanks and blanks and blanks. So allow partial credit, and it will equally divide up the points here. But I do use word bank very often. And this is a great way to not really hold spelling over my students' head unless that's something you want to do. Now the easy way to do this, I can go ahead and I can type in names that are here. We know that these didn't write Federalist 10, but these will now be populated in a word bank underneath the individual question. Now the nice thing with this is do not put in the correct answer. Schoology automatically populates in the word book the correct response. So don't put it here, don't put Madison down here, because then it will be, Madison will be there twice. Also, Schoology does a nice job by automatically randomizing this word bank. Something that I like using a lot is I write a big long word bank on a Word document, and what I do is I copy and paste that long word bank within this field, and then I just take out the right answer so it doesn't double populate. So then the students it makes it a little bit more difficult, but you get the overall general idea. At this point, then I can assign how many points I want to be assigned to this. I can assign it 1, 10, whatever I want. And then again, the total score that I assign to this test, 100 points, will be evenly distributed within that. So even if you had this, let's say 15 questions each were 10, it's 150 points. It's going to give you a percentage within that 100 that you can then input into the gradebook. Okay, and then I go ahead and I click create question. Then you can see here questions here, and you can do this for all types of questions: true and false, multiple choice, ordering, whatever you want to do, fill in the blank, everything. The real key part of this is then going to settings. You can give the overall instructions for the test, and here is where you make it available to students. It by default has it selected as hide now, but as soon as I clicked available now for this test, it will go and it will change that to, hit save changes, available. Now the students can see it. Some tests want to have time limits. You can go ahead and put it on minutes. Let's say I want 45 minutes to complete this. How many attempts they get? 1 attempt. Randomizing order. This is a thing that I love doing. So it also helps with cheating as well, because then the students can't look on each other's tablets. I click yes. Paging breaks up into randomized orders. Yes. As it sees there, you can have all the questions on one page, or if you put in page breaks, which you could have. But I typically one question per page works pretty well. Language keyboard, you can put Spanish, obviously, if you're the Spanish class. I keep it at none. Question review, this is at the end of the test, so students can go through and review all their questions. Up to you if you want them to allow them to do that. Resumable, this is a big one here. If a student leaves the test and not submits it, they can then come back to the test if you have this selected as yes. If this is no, the moment they leave the test, their test is done. So this is up to you. Having this selected as no is a pretty nice feature to prevent cheating, because then if they leave that test, they can't come back to it if they looked up the answers. But it also has some heartaches too. If a kid accidentally leaves it, then you have to restart the test. It's up to you. But typically, I keep this as no. Okay, view submissions. Again, you can put this through. It will show the students, if you select yes, it will show the students what they got wrong, but it won't show them the right answer. So I like this as yes, so then the students know what they got wrong. Okay. Printing options. This is more if you want to print things out and allow yourself to read it off a hard copy. I keep this as all default. It makes things very easy to understand. And then I go ahead and hit Save Changes. You can see that the test is now available because I have it available now. You can see that they can take it one time with a 45-minute time limit. No instructions I put up here, so on and so forth. I go to Preview, and I can pretty much take this test as a student. And now you can see here who is the author of the Federalist 10. I go ahead and select Madison, or actually I got to click the field, then Madison, and you can see here it populates it, and then Review Answers, and then I can't submit because it's review. Once you have a student complete it, you'll see what they have here. It'll also tell you if you did essay questions, if you have to go back and review them, and then any and all comments. This is pretty much the basic way we can use our assessment options within Schoology. It's a great way to grade, assess students, and it makes things a lot easier. Again, I'm only an email away, kyle.clapper@mountverde.org if you have any questions. Thank you.